What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today I get to talk about something that really excites me. Sorry for the long layoff, by the way, if you're not new to the channel, but if you are, hello, how's it going? Check out the other videos, subscribe. Anyway, I want to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now, as we're recording this video, the game is not out yet. I'm actually just a couple weeks out. However, the State of Play premiered as we're recording the video, again, yesterday. The demo dropped right after, and I believe that this is just a section of the game. It's called Nibelheim. It's a flashback sequence. If you play Crisis Core, you I think you'll come into some familiar territory, but it's there. We get a little taste of Rebirth, and I'm here to talk about it. I want to give my thoughts on the game because I'm super excited for this one. This is my game of the year already. Honestly, I can't think of anything else that could even come close, but I've been surprised before. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Let's get into it. So, I want to talk about the game a little bit. I should have a little bit of gameplay here. So, I wasn't able to play all of this demo. Just a disclaimer. I've just been busy, man. I don't know how you guys have been. This has been a busy year for me. 2024 is going to be a ride. Got a baby on the way. New schedule at work. A lot of things going on. So, I just haven't had a whole lot of time. Last night, I had time to play. But I was getting tired as crap, so I cut it off because I don't know how you guys feel. And by the way, this video is going to be about the Rebirth demo, but it's also going to be about the game in general, how much it means to me. So if you like just hearing a nerd talk about Final Fantasy and what the series has done for me, especially in the past few years, definitely stick around because I'm just excited for this one, man. And I haven't really felt this level of excitement. I don't know if I'm quite there, but I'm pretty excited for this, almost as if I was excited for Red Dead Redemption 2.
What did he say?
I bring that up in like every video, and you're probably like, if you're having a drinking game right now, you're probably drunk as shit. But, like, I don't know, like these types of games really do it for me. I know I've said it before in another video. My late cousin, he passed away a few years ago. He loved Final Fantasy. He loved Final Fantasy VII specifically, just like most people do. He was really looking forward to this remake. He's looking forward to all. At the time, they had said that they were going to split this game up into parts, but they didn't really say like how much or how many games this was going to take to tell this story. But he was really excited for the remake, and he passed away just a few short weeks before the remake dropped. And it really sucked. He wasn't able to play the game. And so, like, it's just when I see the remake, and I know how much I loved it, and then Rebirth is coming, I just know he would love these games. And I'm super excited to delve into them for myself, but also for him as well, man. So, to talk about the game a little bit. So, like I mentioned before, this demo is a flashback sequence that happens in-game. Apparently, if you play through this part in the demo, you can skip it in the actual game. I don't think I'm going to do that because I love what I see so far. One thing, this game is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I haven't really seen like a huge vistas yet. I know there's another part of the demo coming, I think the week before the game drops, that kind of shows you more of the environments. Like I think that was like specifically, is it called Juno? I can't remember. It's basically this section of the game, and it's a pretty wide open place where you can explore. Kind of gives you more of like the Final Fantasy 15 vibes with the big open grassy areas. Super excited to see that, man, because I listen. I'm just like you guys. I'm sick of open world games, but doing it in a Final Fantasy world, it just has a different flair to me with the music, with the characters. These characters are awesome, so I want to explore with these characters and get to know them while I'm doing my missions. Again, I said it in Final Fantasy 16 in my Final Fantasy 16 video. I said it on the Deadhead podcast. One of my main gripes with Final Fantasy 16, and I enjoy the game. I really like Final Fantasy 16. When you are out with your party, it feels like they're lifeless. It feels like your companions are dead. Clive doesn't really interact with Joshua. Joshua doesn't interact with Clive. They just don't talk. They just don't talk to each other amongst themselves. And I'm drawing a blank on the female companion is. I do not. Jill? Is it Jill? I don't remember. Anyway, they feel lifeless, and so I'm really excited and I hope that we have a very, very lively companionship with everyone on our team, and it makes exploring even more fun. But so anyway, while I'm playing the demo, and I'm sorry I'm bouncing around, The combat, listen, dude, the combat is what we know and love, man. It's a half action RPG, half turn-based, and I love it here. This is an upgraded version of that. I was able to do in the combat the more synergy abilities. They introduced this in the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade DLC. We play as Yuffie, and they kind of had the synergy abilities in that. They really branch on that here. There's a couple of things I got to do with Cloud and Sephiroth that was really, really cool, and it added some mystique and flair to the combat. Very, very flashy, honestly. And I haven't played the remake in like well over a year. I'd say a year and a half maybe. I don't remember the combat being as flashy as what I saw here. Now you're playing a Sephiroth 2 in this demo. His combat is perfect almost. It's the right amount of the combat feels heavy and fast at the same time. You'll know it when you play it. I love it. I love it because that was one of the things that I had with I had an issue with Yuffie's gameplay in her expansion. I felt that the combat wasn't. I felt like it was very flashy. It was fast. It just didn't feel like it had much power. Maybe that's what it's supposed to feel like because you're playing as like a teenage girl. So, and I'd say there's not some teenage girls out there that are beasts. I'm sure there's some that could beat my ass, but it just felt like Yuffie's abilities was kind of like. I just didn't like it. I did not like her gameplay that much, even though it was flashy. Not really a big fan, but this felt really, really good. And Cloud is about what you expect. Now, the one thing I will say, and this is obviously from the remake, so this isn't. Is this really considered a gripe? It's more of a personal preference of mine. I hate that you can't jump because I was getting so used to. So, look, just to give you guys some backstory, I just finished Final Fantasy 16. I platinumed it. I finished it like a couple months after the game released, but I just platinumed it like last month or the month before. My time is running together, and what a pain in the ass that was. Not because it was hard, it was just you had to unlock all your abilities. But anyway, in that game, you can say whatever you want about the combat. Maybe it feels samey, feels repetitive. At least you were able to jump, and I felt that a lot of my combos started in that game by jumping. You know what I mean? So in Rebirth, you can't jump. So you really have to be more methodical with your strikes, which I like. I like that because it doesn't feel as mindless. Not to say 16 doesn't have some strategy to it. I don't think that's fair for people to say it doesn't. But in 7 Rebirth and Remake, it does make you like, okay, you don't want to keep spamming square because you're going to leave yourself wide open for an attack. And so I had to really calm down my gameplay a lot in this demo because I was so used to spamming square and to keep attacking over and over again and being able to somewhat stop my enemies. Well, in this game, there's status ailments and there's also, just like I said, that leaving yourself wide open after an attack. And I think it adds a whole level of strategy to this game that I really, really like, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of as we get deeper into the game. But the dialogue is still there. There's some great voice acting here. Like I said, I've said it before when I started my Final Fantasy VII Remake on the show, that I think this is one of the best voice acted Final Fantasy games I've ever played. Talking about the remake here. Obviously, you got very anime type characters. You know, the anime American voice acting. It's so rough sometimes. But this has really good dialogue. It's beautifully written and decent enough. It's really great voice acting here. I mean, it's really good. There's actually a part where, so you obviously, like I said, the demo is a flashback, and there's a part where like Cloud in current day is telling the group about how he met Sephiroth or what happened between him and Sephiroth. And there's a part where Cloud goes back to his hometown, Nibelheim. Like I said before, he goes into Tifa's house and he goes into her room. And as soon as you walk into her room, you hear Tifa, current day, going, "You went into my room?" And and you can make dialogue choices like, "Yeah, I did," or "No, I didn't." You can lie to her. You can tell the truth. And then when you walk in and you can open up her closet and she'll go, "You went through my closet?" And then you can choose again if you want to lie and tell her the truth. I thought that was cool, man. You know, are there dialogue options? Do they really matter? Probably not. But I like that kind of stuff, man. It was just good voice acting. It was funny. I'm pretty sure Tifa or Aerith calls him an asshole. And I don't know. I liked it. it's just good, genuine banter. It doesn't feel forced. Like one thing about 16, and I'm not saying this to bash Final Fantasy 16. I felt like some of the cursing in that game felt a bit forced to me. This feels so much more natural. And this is a rated T for teen game, so you're not really hear any F words or anything like that. But it just felt genuine here, man. And just like Remake, just like Rebirth. I mean, these games just feel so beautifully crafted and just so genuine and so natural in the way they're developed. I mean, these games are truly art, man. I mean, you look at the state of play, you look at all the wild shit that's going on in this game. Some stuff I'm not as big of a fan of, but all in all, man, it's just gonna be a beautiful experience, and I cannot wait to sink well over 100 hours into this game. I don't know if I'm gonna platinum it. I still haven't platinumed the remake. You know, I just some platinums I'll go for, but you know, some games I won't. But man, I would love to platinum this one because this game is deserving of multiple hundreds of hours of time, man. Because it looks good. But anyway, the demo is a fun time, man. I wasn't able to finish it. I wanted to, you know, I was talking to a buddy of mine about this video, and they were like, well, maybe you should wait till after you finish the demo. My time is so pressed, so I really just want to get a video out to you guys. I'm sorry if I seem not like my normal self. The demo is a good time, man. Download it. If you haven't pre-ordered the game and you got any kind of interest at all, dude, spend the money and get it. Like, if you can afford it, please get it, or whatever. The first sale, get it. This is going to be a great freaking game. I mean, it's got all the pieces that you need to make a fantastic sequel to a remake of a game that is timeless. And I'm so happy to see these characters again. I love all these voice actors. I love the performances. I love the writing. I love the world. It's just a great combination. And honestly, like, if you could remake any story, this is the one to do. But anyway, that's all I got for you. Let me know your thoughts about the demo, if you played it yet. If you haven't, I understand. I almost didn't want to play the demo myself because when I played the Final Fantasy 16 demo, I remember how depressed I was after I beat the demo because I was like, man, this is so freaking awesome. And every other game that I have currently is trash. I thought that, like, I'm so mentally messed up that way because I thought every game I had that wasn't Final Fantasy 16 was garbage. So I almost didn't want to play the demo for this one, but I had to check it out. I had to put down Persona 3, and I had to check out the demo. So I'm going to see it through, and you know, we'll talk more about it. Of course, there's going to be a first impression video on the channel. We're also going to talk about it on the Deadhead podcast, and of course, there will be a final review for the game when it is all finished and whatnot. So we got a lot of talks about Final Fantasy here, so definitely if you like that type of content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and with that being said, we'll see you next one. Stay dead, my friends. Ah!